The autonomic nervous system uses two different types of receptors. So the parasympathetic division uses cholinergic receptors at the target organ, muscarinic cholinergic receptors, and the sympathetic division uses adrenergic receptors. And there are a couple different types. The main two major classes are alpha and beta, right? And so most of the organs inside of the body are what we said dually innervated. They're innervated by both the sympathetic and parasympathetic division. So we can't think about this as on or off with the activation, deactivation of sympathetic versus parasympathetic, right? We always think of it as a seesaw or a teeter-totter, right? It's which one sort of dominates because they're both acting on the target organ, right? So all of the different organs, right, can be innervated by the autonomic nervous system. So we have an effector organ, right? And we have the sympathetic division that's going to innervate it. Right? And it's going to use a certain type of receptor, right? And the parasympathetic division is going to innervate it and cause a response. And it's going to use a specific type of receptor. Okay? So we can sort of make like a nice little chart here. And I'm going to use different colors for sympathetic, right? Or use red for sympathetic. And then we'll use blue for parasympathetic, right? So the parasympathetic division is very easy for a receptor. It's going to be a muscarinic cholinergic receptor, all the way down for all of them, okay? Now, when we think about this, a lot of times students want to sort of try to memorize what's happening at all of the different glands or organs, right? And if you think about it, it is sort of easy to determine what's going to happen at each individual place, right? So let's think about your pupil. Under sympathetic division, right, you want your pupil to dilate. You want to let light in because think about you're getting chased by a crazy clown, right? And you want to get away, right? You want to be able to see, you want to open that up, let all of the light in, right? And that is going to be an alpha receptor. So the parasympathetic division is going to constrict your pupils, right? And again, muscarinic receptor. Okay, so what do you think about your heart? Right, so under sympathetic division, right, you want to increase your heart rate, right, and force of contraction. Right, so this is going to use a beta 1 receptor. So what do you think is going to happen under parasympathetic division, right? That's going to slow your heart rate, right? Or decrease the heart rate, okay? So we can think about our lungs, or I'm going to put bronchioles here. Those are the tubes that lead down into the lungs, right? So what do we think is going to happen here? Under sympathetic, it's going to dilate, right? You want to open them up. You want to get air into those bronchioles, and this is going to be a beta 2 receptor, okay? So here, opposite, this is going to be constriction of the bronchioles. Right, so then let's look at the GI tract. Right, under sympathetic innervation, right? So this is going to decrease gut motility. We don't want the gut moving around. We need to be able to run away from that crazy clown, right? So this is going to be some alpha receptors and beta 2 receptors, right? So this one, parasympathetic, that's going to increase our motility, right? Rest and digest, increase motility there. All right, so what about the pancreas? Okay, so you want to inhibit insulin. Right, got to free up that glucose. And this is going to be an alpha receptor, right? So then under rest and digest, parasympathetic. This is going to increase or stimulate insulin secretion. Okay. What about our kidneys? Okay. Kidneys, right? You are going to increase renin, right? That's going to be responsible for the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone cycle. It's going to eventually lead to increases in blood pressure, right? So you increase our renin secretion. This is going to be a beta 1 receptor, right? Then the opposite, decrease renin over here at the parasympathetic division. Okay. What about our adipose tissue? Adipose tissue can be innervated by autonomic nervous system. Right? What do you think you want to happen here? You want fat breakdown here. Fat breakdown. Right? Free up the energy so that we can use it to run away from that crazy clown. This is the different one. It's a beta 3. Right? So we have, right, all of the innervation by the different organs. And these are the ones that are the main ones, right? But the other organs can be innervated by the autonomic nervous system itself, right? So the hard part is remembering the receptor type, but remembering the actual function of the sympathetic and parasympathetic division at the different target tissues or organs shouldn't be difficult.